Hello, this is Dr. Cho for this Friday's Dharma Talk. Well, I'm going to try something different today. Before we listen to the weekly message, I'd like you to work on a few words and phrases. They are useful and important. Now, close a deal. 거래를 마무리하다 or 합의를 마무리하다 or 계약 한 건 올리다. Well, of course, we can say come to an agreement, but I'd like you to learn new phrases. Number one, close a deal. Strike a deal. Cut a deal. Hammer out a deal. Work out a deal. A trade deal was hammered out between two countries. A peace plan needs to be worked out between two Koreas. The two sides finally struck a deal after weeks of negotiations. The President and Congress should cut a deal on the budget for the next year. All these are great phrases. Everything is meaning 합의하다 or 거래를 마무리하다. This is a wonderful phrase. Now, a second one, condition. condition. Condition is 조건 or 상황, but everybody knows this. But how about this? He died of the same condition. 병으로 죽다. Okay, that's another meaning for condition as a noun. Now, condition을 동사로 사용하면 생각하지도 않고 without thinking 자동적으로 행동이나 행위가 나오도록 하는 마인드를 트레인하는 것입니다. Like for instance, a conditioned response, right? This is something that you learned in high school. Pavlov conditioned dogs to salivate at the sound of a bell. 종소리가 들리면 자동적으로 침을 흘리게 만들다. 조건 반사죠. Pavlov conditioned dogs to salivate at the sound of a bell. Now, this is a really good example. This is a good example. Women have been conditioned to expect lower wages than men. 오래 연습된 마음. The mind that has been conditioned. This is a very good translation. Taliban have been culturally, historically conditioned to expect women to stay home instead of going to school. Since this is socially conditioned, this can be broken, I believe. Now, innate nature. INNATE, nature. Innate nature. Innate means 타고난, 선천적인. He has innate qualities. 선천적인 자질이 있다. He has innate qualities or innate talent. How about innate sense? 타고난 감각. He has an innate sense of fairness. He has an innate sense of justice. Now, finally, personality trait. 성격, 특성, or simply 성격, personality trait. Like, for instance, he's open, or he's extroverted, outgoing. He's constantly worried. These are personality trait, trait, right? 그는 항상 걱정만 하는 사람, 스타일이다. 그런 성격이다. This is trait, trait, personality trait. About giving. Start with your mind to practice the mentality of giving. Very often, if people have worked their whole lives in public service or office jobs, they will pull out a cigarette only for themselves when they smoke. People who run businesses, however, frequently develop a giving mind regarding their cigarettes in order to close deals and get acquainted with the clients. When the mind that has been conditioned for many years becomes firmly molded, actions follow naturally. The giving mind is righteous and joyful. It is an alive mind. The begging mind, however, is a broken mind, a dead mind. Even with just a cup of coffee, the moment you decide to serve it to someone else, you feel secure and confident. The giving mind cleanses that innate nature of pulling everything toward me. Just as your arms bend toward you, people tend to pull every beneficial thing toward themselves. Such a trait is inevitable as long as people have egos. When a poor relative or someone seeking charity visits us, we start putting up our guards first with our minds. It is the mind of not giving and of treating him or her cold-heartedly. The mind is not material wealth. Even if we cannot provide him or her with the material wealth they seek, why can't we at least give with our minds? With the material goods, you have to be in the right financial situation to be able to give, but mind is not the same way. If your mind is always that of giving, it directly becomes merit. Give your material possessions to accumulate great merit. If you give with the expectation of being rewarded, that is a business transaction and not an act of giving. For the person doing the giving, the receiver's joy should be sufficient reward. If one can give equally to strangers and to animals as one does with the friends and family, one will accumulate merit. When you lend money to someone, why not lend the money with intention of just giving it away? If you did that, you would not be bound by the person who borrowed your money. If he pays you back, you would be as happy as if you had found free money. If the person did not pay you back, you would not suffer from it and your mind would be free. However, if you lend with the expectation of being paid back, your mind will be concerned and anxious every time you experience financial difficulty. Such worries tie down your mind. Kind intentions will return to you. In Korea, there is a saying, one kind word returns another. Literally, when kind words go, kind words come. More important than words, however, is the intention behind the words. The mind must be well-intentioned in order for the mind that comes back to be well-intentioned as well. When I see someone as my Buddha and treat him or her with respect, because my mind toward that person is respectful, the other person will give back a respectful mind according to the wave that my own mind has sent out. When I regard someone with hatred as my hateful mind's waves ripple outwards, the other person's own hatred will echo back to me with a higher degree of intensity. The mind that others practice towards me is a response to the one I sent out to them. We practice the mindset of seeing others as Buddha as a means of changing the way we view other people. However, the purpose is also to practice reverence in our own mind. When we practice a reverent and respectful mind by seeing others as Buddha, it enriches and cultivates our mind like a watering a field. The mindset of those who cultivate the mind is one of constant reverence.